Imagine a scenario where tariffs rise sharply, compliance becomes more complex, and your business encounters significant challenges. Is your team prepared for the potential shifts under a second Trump administration? Download the recording and slides from our webinar exploring the potential impact of a second Trump administration on international trade. Get insights tailored specifically for customs professionals. Get equipped with actionable strategies and expert guidance to navigate the changes. What trade measures might be expanded under Trump's return? How can U.S. and non-U.S. companies adapt to heightened customs scrutiny? With Donald Trump in the White House from 2025 to 2029, U.S. trade policy is recalibrating in a way that impacts businesses globally. For importers, exporters, and customs professionals, staying ahead means anticipating the changes, understanding the implications, and preparing strategies. Trump's first presidency redefined U.S. trade through what are now known as the Trump tariffs, especially on imports from China, steel, aluminum, and sectors like solar. His firm stance on America First may become even more intense, expanding tariffs on more sectors, such as technology, automotive, and pharmaceuticals. Heightened tariffs could impact companies across the globe that rely on exporting to the U.S., and increased tariff costs might ripple throughout supply chains. A second Trump presidency might also mean intensified U.S. Customs and Border Protection enforcement, as officials enforce compliance more strictly. U.S. and non-U.S. businesses will need rigorous compliance processes, especially for product classifications and origin declarations. Failing to comply could lead to delays, penalties, or even bans from the U.S. market. Under the Trump administration's earlier tariffs, certain exemptions applied, especially for products seen as critical to U.S. economic stability. A second term might tighten these conditions, narrowing exempt eligibility and focusing more on domestic benefits. Importers may need to prove that their products contribute positively to the U.S. market and do not threaten domestic industries. With these anticipated shifts, U.S. and non-U.S. companies should start preparing again. Here are some suggestions that we are exploring in the recorded webinar in more detail. First, consider exploring materials or components from countries with favorable trade agreements with the U.S., such as those in an FTA. Next, restructuring your supply chain could lower overall costs as you identify areas with potential tariff reductions. How about exploring the duty drawback, customs special procedure? This can be a cost-effective solution for companies that export a significant portion of their U.S. imports. Duty drawback allows businesses to recover a portion of paid tariffs on imports that are eventually re-exported. Another valuable approach is tariff engineering. It means legally structuring product designs, changing components, or altering the country of origin to reclassify goods into lower tariff categories. With the renewed focus on compliance under a potential Trump administration, meticulous accuracy in customs documentation and risk management processes is crucial. Be sure to check classifications, ensure documentation is up to date, and implement quality control processes to meet higher standards. Join us to unpack what a second Trump administration could mean for global trade, especially for non-U.S. and U.S.-based companies. Learn the essentials of navigating Sections 232, 201, and evolving trade restrictions, while discovering actionable strategies to minimize costs and maintain compliance. Understand how Trump's tariffs on China and others may evolve, with a focus on sectors likely to face heightened restrictions. Get expert advice on how to navigate these complex tariffs and exemptions. Equip your team with practical tools to mitigate trade risk and maintain business resilience. Whether you're actively exporting to the U.S. or importing from the U.S., this webinar is your roadmap to succeeding under potential new trade conditions. Access the recording at www.customsmanager.org/shop to get your copy now.